much confidence does that friendly win give you at the start of the season, I guess?
That gives us a bit of confidence. I don't think we look at the results in pre-season too heavily. I think definitely from the performances that we had shown in the Cup as a step in the right direction, and a positive, I guess, stepping stone on the journey, I guess, to the start of the season.
How tumultuous has the last couple of weeks been between obviously the Cup loss and especially losing Goody?
It's been business as usual, mate. Like the Cup result was negative, yes, and it was a bit of a wake-up call, but I think it was the wake-up call we needed at probably the right time. It gave us enough time to really have a look at it in the mirror as a team and individually, and have a look at where we need to improve. And over the last, I guess, month or so, we've been working really hard towards that. And with Craig leaving, it's just another door that's open for someone else to step in and make the most of this opportunity. Yes, he was probably one of the best players to ever play for the club, but at the same time, he was once a young player that had to get presented an opportunity by someone else leaving. So someone will step up and fill the shoes.
What does that mean for someone like you? Obviously, not just what he was on the pitch, but as a leader, how does players sort of in your age bracket now step up?
I think it's a collective. We're a team that is very close. There is no, you don't have these little cliques with the senior players and the younger players that you might have at other teams. We're a club, I guess, that get along at all ages, and it's the responsibility, I guess, of people of all ages to continue the leadership and continue to grow. And you got other senior players, you've got the likes of Isaias, who's already been a captain at the club. He's been a leader, I guess, behind the scenes for the last couple of years. Whilst he might not be wearing the captain's armband, he's certainly a leader, and there's many other players like that.
How much will Goody kind of be missed amongst the group, I guess, and are you guys confident you have the depth to kind of cover such a critical player to your structure?
Well, like I said, we've got other young players who are coming through, and as I mentioned before, that opportunity had to get presented to Goody, a couple of years ago, a few years ago now, but it's just another door that's opened. We've got fantastic young players at the club that are coming through. You've seen that with the recent result of our NPL winning the NPL Finals series. So we've got fantastic young players at the club, and this gives the opportunity for some of those attacking players to get an opportunity in the A-League. And you have to get thrown in the deep end and see whether you can sink or swim.
You mentioned the captain's armband. Is leadership something that you want to take up in terms of whether that be the captaincy or even a vice captaincy?
Look, I think at the end of the day, my role is naturally a leadership position. I'm someone that can see all the play, and my voice is critical on the field. And if I can be of some sort of help off the field with my opinion and my voice, to mainly, for me to help the younger players as well. I think over the last couple of years, I've come through, I guess, the ranks of being a younger player and stepping into the first team and playing consistently. So if I can help any of the younger players that are in that transition, then that's really important for the club.
How much of an honour would it be to be named as the next captain?
It's not even something I've thought of, so I don't think I have an answer for you. But no, it'd be a real privilege as a young man that's grown up watching Adelaide and going to Coopers and watching the games and watching Eugene, another former captain of the club, someone that also plays the same position and now has such a close role in coaching me now, would surreal, would be awesome.
How much of an impact do you think Eugene had on you as a leader, considering that pretty much when you came in from the first sort of appearance, you always seemed quite vocal for a player of your own?
Yeah, he gave me a lot of confidence coming in. I guess as a goalkeeper, like I mentioned before, it's a leadership position, it's a vocal position, and you have to be quite vocal. That was probably a skill that I really started to develop and learn through my time playing NPL from quite a young age. And when I made that transition into the A-League and started to play those first games, he just filled me with confidence and said, continue to go out and do your thing and do what you've done to get you into the position that you are now. So it was really just giving me the confidence, and also the players that were playing in front of me at the time, and I guess the whole squad gave me real confidence and had faith in me, and that allowed me to be vocal and express my voice on the field and not feel like the older boys were going to turn around and tell me to be quiet. So no, it was a real collective, but Eugene's influence was major for sure.
That was Nesta travelling along. I think you put up a photo the other day of himself in a moon boot. Does that just make him look a bit worse than it was, or how's he travelling?
No, Nesta's all good. He's had done, I think, a minor damage in his ankle, a few ligaments. I think it will be just a couple of weeks, but he'll be all fit for round one.
And I think impact on the team sheet, but obviously it's still behind closed doors at this stage. But it seemed like there was sort of a front two with Luca and Hiroshi. Is it a bit of a change in tactics sort of expected this season?
Maybe slightly. I think you're still going to see the classic Adelaide United over the last few seasons under Carwell. We're a very attacking team with the ball and also without the ball, and looking to be very aggressive without it. And I guess with a lot of the youth that's coming through and a lot of pace, we can be very aggressive with and without the ball. So I don't think there will be too much of a change. I think we will be looking to have a lot of controlled possession like we have had over the last couple of years, and looking to be very clinical with the ball.
How's Ryan settling?
Very well. Yeah, it's been a long trip for him. I think this is the furthest away from England you could fly, and I think he did it in one trip as well, if that's correct. So yeah, no, it's he settled in well over the last couple of days, and he got some minutes in the legs yesterday and looked very solid and very vocal, and you can see why he's played the number of games that he has at the level that he has.
Obviously it's out of your hands, but would you like to see more improvement made to the squad if the club can do that?
If they're the right players. I think this club's had a policy of bringing in not only good players but good people, and that's something that's going to be looking to be continued, over the next 6 to 12 months. I think there's been a lot of people very vocal in the departures, and I can understand that, but at the same time we don't just want to fill holes just for the sake of it and bring in people that don't fit the mould of our style of play as well as the mould of our football club. And that is the most important thing, that we have good people that are not only going to be resources on the field in the way that we play, but they're going to be resources off the field in developing the great youth that we have.